These are the wires from the drive-by-wire throttle pedal, and this pedal in actual fact is from an Audi A6. So now I'm trying to decode my electronic throttle pedal and of course there's multicoloured wires coming out of the plug body, and I've just had to extend them obviously with wrong colours if you like, but at least I've written down what they are. So I'm now going to attempt to stick a meter on those and see what happens. So we seem to have, looks like 1.5 mega ohms. That's quite high. Now if I press the pedal with a pokey stick thing, I need a pokey stick thing. Alright, so does it change? Not at all. I'm going to stop work on this pedal until I've spoken to Motorsport Electronics again. And yeah, it looks to me as if this is not a variable resistor. And this is my Audi A6 throttle pedal, which I bought because it's got a metal shaft which you can cut and weld, which I did. But I thought there was only two options, which are traditional potentiometer or possibly Hall effect. But by the look of, I've prized the lid off, and then we have, can you see in there, a load of wiggly circuity things, and on here some more circuity things, and there's no sign of a magnet. So I think, from what I've read by Heller, this is neither Hall effect nor potentiometer. And looking at the sheer number of little wiggly wire things in here, I'm thinking it's a pulse counter, and I don't think that's going to work. I've had to move away from purely using the original wiring on the engine, and the main reason for that is this thing, which is the original 1999 Jaguar drive-by-wire throttle motor assembly, because the interface to it we couldn't possibly retro understand, or what's the word, retrofit? No, we couldn't reverse engineer it. That's a much better word to use. It is quite huge and it's got lots of connections. This one here is a 10-way plug, of which 7 are used, and that's the throttle position sensor, I think. And this one here, which is the motor, it is partially disassembled, is a 12-way plug. Not sure how many of those were in use, because I haven't got the plug to go on the other side of it at the moment. 12-way, anyway, 12-way, 10-way, okay, not all of them used, but a potential 22 different pins, and it's huge. The new one is just this little bit on the end. Let's see a lovely... Hello Jessica. The new one is just this little bit here on the end, with a lovely conversion piece which J.A. Dawes Engineering in Benfleet made for me. But this thing here has a plug which has got only 6 wires. So 6 wires as opposed to 22. And so yeah, we now have the electronic throttle body, which is a Bosch item, with its only 6 wires, borrowed out of the one that was just for the throttle position sensor on the original Jaguar, which even that had 7 wires, but this is also the motor as well. So as you can imagine, the operating principle is actually quite different. So after all that, I've got this thing. So I've moved my plug that was starting over here somewhere. It's now coming out as a kind of branching point down there. The other plug has disappeared altogether. The one that went to the bigger plug that went to the throttle motor. now left with this. So I've managed to get away, or I've managed to remove the wires that had got branches that were shared with other items. And so here we go. Alright, so I've got a different throttle pedal. So this one was from a Audi A6. Chosen basically because it's got a steel shaft to it. But the recent inspection, when I took the lid off, seems to show, also having tested the connection plug, seems to show that it's some kind of inductive pulse generator rather than either a resistive one or a Hall effect one for that matter. So I've kind of given up on this one, and thanks to SuperfastMatt leading me to D-stage, SuperfastMatt leading me to D-stage, can't say it, D-stage in Poland, who used one of these. This is from a Fiat Punto, and it's actually a Bosch part, and I've tested it, and it really is a resistive sensor, so probably a lot easier to use. And the key part, once again, is the shaft is made of metal, which means it can be welded, bent, whatever, in a way that a plastic one wouldn't be able to. So I've got my Punto throttle pedal is connected up to the ECU plug with 6 wires, 5 volts, 2 sensors, 2 earths, 2 5 volts as well. All of it's duplicated, so that's 6 wires there. I now need to connect up to the throttle body and connect up the ECU. Right, so here we have our first adventure regarding drive-by-wire. So my pedal, as you saw a minute ago, is on the driver's seat, out of sight line from the camera, but I'm pushing the pedal down, and you can see up here the 2 voltage readings changing. Now they're not the same as each other. I don't think that matters, as long as the computer knows what to expect. So here's the Motorsport Electronics Mighty software, and there it is. You can see lots of things, but thanks to doing some calibration, we now have a working throttle pedal, which I didn't have. Oh dear, you're in the way of the door. Isn't that typical? So we have the next stage. We had the cam sync a few days ago, but now we have the drive-by-wire throttle pedal as well. So this is starting to get to be quite promising. So I'll just, yeah, you're still in the way of the door. So have a look at this one here in particular, which shows the degree of pedal. Now the pedal itself is currently on the driver's seat. Now this is the Fiat Punto pedal, which D-stage kind of recommended because it's metal, and we have, it's all connected by wires. So there's my pedal. If you look up here, you can see the pedal position readout changing from 0 to 100, 0 to 100, and the noise you can probably hear is indeed the throttle body doing its thing. Okay, so here is my throttle butterfly within the throttle, of course, and I'm going to go round and I'm going to push the pedal. I am well pleased with that. Thanks to Edwin and Ethan on various different days for their help with me setting up so far at Motorsport Electronics. And now we move on to the next stage. as far as this, thanks very much for watching. And in case you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. That would be really encouraging for me. So catch you on the next one.